This is lesson 62 for Saxon 4, multiplying three or more factors and exponents. So again, I haven't broken this one up because they're actually very connected, so I decided to keep them together. When you are multiplying three or more factors, remember a factor is a number you times by another number to get your product. Okay, these are factors. So all this is adding in another factor. Okay, when you're doing three or more. How you do this is you start, unless there's parentheses telling you where to start, you start from the place you read and you work your way through. Okay, so if I had here 3 times 2 times 5, I work my way over here and I make my way through. Okay, now remember, because this is all multiplication, the nice thing about this is I could rearrange these numbers and it would give me the exact same answer. Okay, let's see if that'll work. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Now let's rearrange them and see if I can do it again. Let's start with 5. 5 times 3 times 2 equals what? Well, 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. Okay, so as long as you have the multiplication and the same numbers, you can rearrange these however you would like and they'll get the same answer, which helps us out when we're starting to work with bigger numbers. So let's say we have uh, 3 times 5 times 10. Okay, now I can choose to do a couple of things here. I can choose just to do 3 times 5, which is 15, times it by 10. When I'm timesing by 10, I know all I have to do is move this decimal place over 1 and put a 0, okay, which would be 150. Or I could start with 5 times 10, and I could say, okay, 5 times 10 is 50, and then I have 3 50s. 3 50s is 150. Okay, because they're all the same numbers and you're going to be using the same digits and the same multiplication, you can multiply these kind of any which way you like. As I said, the normal method of doing it is to start from the left and make your way right just as you read them. But if you want to come into the middle and do 2 here to make your life easier and maybe 2 over here and then times by something, you can. It is up to you in which way you times these, as long as you by the end of it have used all of the digits. Okay? That is multiplying three or more factors. Now we're going to look at exponents. So exponents you've used a little bit before. You use an exponent when you're doing area. Remember, area is length times width. And whenever you get the number, you have the number, let's say it's x, and you have it squared. Okay? This is an exponent. Let me show you how it works. Okay. When we have exponents, we have, let's say, something like 5 squared. Okay, 5 squared tells us something. The exponent tells us how many times we multiply, or to multiply, the base by itself. Okay, the exponent tells us how many times to multiply the base by itself. So in this case, it is 2. So we would do 5 times 5. See, there's my base. My base is 5. My exponent says 2. I have 2 5s, and I am multiplying. 5 times 5 equals 25. That is what the exponent tells me to do. Now, if I had 3 there instead of 2, that means I need my bases, and I need 3 of those bases. Okay, because the exponent tells me how many of these at the bottom I need. So I would do 5 times 5 is 25 times 5. Okay, now I'm doing 25 times 5. That's where this starts to get really big. So 25 times 5 would be, I'm going to do it up here. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus that is 12, 125. Okay, so this would be 125 is 3 cubed, or 3 to the power of 3. So this is where the multiplying by 3 or more digits comes in. Is you're going from one side, moving your way across. You have to make sure you use every single digit. Okay? It is not 5 times 3. It is 5 times 5 times 5. So you're timesing 5 3 times. Let's look at another one. So you might get a question that looks like this. We have 5 squared plus 2 cubed. Or, if you want to say it, 5 to the power of 2 and 2 to the power of 3. Now, to find this, I need to first do my exponents. So 5 squared is 5 times 5. Okay, 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, my base, that many times. That's what the exponent tells me, how many times you're timesing that base by itself. So 5 times 5, we already know is 25. We just did that one. 2 cubed is 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 cubed is 8, or 2 to the power of 3 is 8. I would now take this 25 and this 8 and add them together. Okay, and I would get 33. So that's what exponents are. Remember, your exponent tells you how many times you multiply the base by itself. So 2 5s, 3 2s, 3 2s, 2 5s. Okay, that's what the exponents do. That is lesson 62, multiplying 3 or more factors and exponents.